Tomorrow. Tomorrow is not just an idea or a dream.
It's the promise of a new day and a better world. Tomorrow belongs to the changemakers and the risk takers, the passionate, the daring, and the bold.
This is our tomorrow. All of us, together.
This is where and how we live, shaped by our community, our neighbors, our friends, and our rivals.
Shaped by those who challenge us to think bigger, move faster, and achieve more. By those who came before us and fashioned this university from sheer determination.
We're pioneers at heart, innovators by necessity, and community builders because, well, we're from Calgary, where that legendary can-do spirit has blossomed into a will-do commitment.
And like Calgary, this university attracts people from around the world with ambitious dreams and the courage to fulfill them.
We educate students to become community builders. We conduct research that changes the world. And we enhance the intellectual, social, and cultural landscape of our region.
It's true. Our campuses draw disruptors, instigators, and challengers of convention. Those who seek and share answers to society's greatest challenges. Because tomorrow demands global attention to challenges we can only begin to imagine.
Tomorrow our students are preparing for now, and our researchers are striving to understand.
A tomorrow we're ready to face, fueled by the energy and passion of our students, postdoctoral scholars, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, and cherished friends.
By discovering and creating new ideas that have a meaningful impact on the world around us, we can improve our world and deliver the promise of a new tomorrow together.
Okay, so I think everybody can hear me according to the poll. I just launched another poll here, just checking to see where you're joining us from. And I see some people from the US, some people from Asia, Africa, India, Middle East, Central and South America. Okay, we got like literally every region in the world, I believe, which is pretty exciting. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. I really appreciate it. And my last poll of the day is, what faculty have you been accepted to? So if you don't mind selecting an option, as in the screen, that will be fantastic. Okay, so lots of people in engineering, kind of tied with business, which is really cool. We got some students in art, some students in science, but engineering is winning. And then, kind of close. Science and business are tied, which is great. Okay, well, thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate your participation. That's it for the polls, I promise. I'm just going to share now our view book in the screen. You should be able to access it, and the poll, and start the presentation here. So just bear with me. Okay, so good morning, afternoon, evening to everybody, depending on where you are. My name is Mayda, and I'm one of the Student Recruitment Advisors at the University of Calgary. I am beyond excited to be here with all of you today to share information about the University of Calgary, but also to share next steps as a newly admitted student to our university. A big congratulations to all of you, and I can't wait, or we cannot wait, to welcome you in the fall 2021. Some of you may know me already, but those of you who don't, I used to be an international student myself, and I know how exciting but also overwhelming this can be. Myself, as well as my colleagues, are always more than happy to answer any of your questions via email. Please don't hesitate to ever reach out. I am joined today in this session with my colleague, Michaela, who some of you may be more familiar with. She will be providing some resources over in the chat, but she will also be able to answer any questions you may have throughout the presentation. A few housekeeping notes. If the webinar freezes, please click on the green reconnect button that it's in the middle of the screen. The platform also works best when using Google Chrome, and you will receive a recording of today's session after it is over. Make sure to ask many questions, and we'll get to them as soon as we can here. So at the University of Calgary, we value the importance of the Indigenous people and the land. And for this reason, you will hear in most events in Calgary the following acknowledgement. So we would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nations and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nations of Alberta, Region 3. If you haven't already looked at the International Student Viewbook, here is the QR code you can scan at this moment to find it. It is also a file being shared with everybody through the webinar platform as well, so you should be able to click on it and see the PDF document as well. If you have attended one of our presentations or any of our events, you probably already know that the University of Calgary is located in the province of Alberta. Besides being the only province in Canada without a provincial sales tax, we also have the highest hourly wage in all of Canada. If you like the outdoors, you would be happy to know that within 3 hours of the university, there are 6 major ski resorts. However, if skiing or snowboarding is not your thing, don't worry, you are with me, and I can tell you that Alberta offers lots of different options for you to enjoy year-round, regardless of what it may be and whatever you're interested in. Calgary is my favorite city in all of Canada, and not just because I live here. Some amazing facts you've probably heard is that we're the first most livable city in all of North America, number 5 in the world, and that we are the energy and engineering capital of Canada. Besides the amazing quality of life Calgary provides, this city offers something for everyone, regardless of what you're interested in and what you're studying. Coming from South America myself, where there are endless summers, Calgary will always share amazing blue skies and sunny days almost all year round. This is why I love Calgary so much. Yes, it gets cold for a few weeks each year, but I promise the sun makes it all much better. As you can see in the slide, we do have an area by a river where people enjoy surfing, and I guarantee you would have never expected that. But hey, Calgary is the innovation capital of Canada, so we're very creative and take advantage of any opportunity. We are incredibly entrepreneurial, and as we have the most head offices per capita here than any other major Canadian city. Now, enough about the amazing city where we're located. Let's recap a little bit about the top worldwide university you have been accepted to. As you may be familiar, we're part of the U15 research institutions in Canada. The picture you see in the screen is from main campus. This is where everything will happen when you join in the fall. Majority of the buildings are connected through underground tunnels or bridges, so you don't ever have to go outside. I would like to talk a little bit more about the McEwen Student Center, or McHall for short. Here, you will find the food court with plenty of options to choose, as well as all of the student services offices, such as International Student Services, the Students' Union, the Leadership and Student Engagement Office, the bookstore, and even a travel agency, pharmacy, banks, and a hair salon. This is the hub for all of our students, and every day I went to the University of Calgary throughout my undergrad degree, I visited McHall at least once or even twice or more. Now, you saw in the previous slide, we do offer residence on campus. And even though I did not live in residence, I strongly encourage you to consider living in residence for your first year. I highly regretted myself. It is the best way to get to know other students and understand the university much faster. Remember that we do guarantee residence for your first 2 years, as long as you apply for residence before May 1st each year. Michaela has shared in the chat a link to see the options that we provide for residents specifically. Now, we have exciting plans for you to make sure you have a fantastic first year experience. Some of the events that may be unique to UCalgary you can see on the screen right now. Today, I will talk about 3 of them. As part of orientation, and exciting as everyone is cheering on the Dinos and the University of Calgary. Similarly, in the winter, we have the Crochal Classic, where our Dinos hockey teams, both men and women, play our rival university in the city of Calgary at the Scotiabank Saddledome, which is the same location where the NHL team Calgary Flames, if you're familiar or if you follow, play as well. It is super fun as well, and I highly encourage everybody to consider attending both events. Also, make sure to always cheer on your Dinos. There are plenty of games free to attend throughout the academic year. The Student Union planned this amazing pet therapy events throughout the semester, usually during midterms and finals, where you get to pet puppies to release stress, which is amazing. This was something that started in my last year of my undergrad, and I absolutely loved it. And last but not least, our UCalgary Cares programs. I was lucky to participate twice in these programs. These are community in Calgary, and during the second or third week of classes, usually they will be all in Mac Hall, the building I talked to not too long ago, so that you can sign up to the ones that you're interested in. Make sure to check the list Michaela has provided in the chat box to find out more about our amazing student organizations. Being involved in clubs definitely adds to your campus life and student life experience, so make sure to check them out and even create your own club if there's something that you're really passionate about. There's always room for more clubs at the University of Calgary. At the University of Calgary, and as a UCalgary student, you're more than a number. And because of this, student services staff makes sure that you feel supported based on the various needs you may have. We have an amazing team, for example, at Career Services that will support you with cool networking events, career fairs, preparing you for interviews, and much more. Our Student Success Center will support you with writing, English, math support, as well as time management workshops, for example. And our Leadership and Student Engagement Office provides tons of opportunities to develop your leadership skills, but they will also plan a very important event. Which is the new student orientation. I have already given away some of the stuff that happens as part of the orientation, such as kickoff, but orientation is much more than that. Please don't follow what I did. I unfortunately did not attend orientation, and again, I highly regret it, just like not living in residence. Dates for next year aren't available yet, but once they are, make sure that you plan to hopefully arrive in Calgary, depending on COVID, obviously, before it starts. You will kick off your university experience at this event. You will get answers, meet people from your faculty, and much more important, learn how to make the most of your first year by receiving advice from your orientation leaders. I do want to spend some time sharing more about other offices available for you as a student. First, the Faith and Spirituality Center offers multi-faith prayer spaces for our students. It is also a space that seeks to cultivate a pluralistic community by encouraging cultural and religious literacy, community building, and social change as an integral part of your student experience. They have amazing events all year long that I highly encourage you to participate. The next office I want to highlight is our Campus Community Hub. This is located in residence, but it is open to all students regardless if you live in residence or not. It is a great space to get to know other students, to relax, or even study. Again, another office to check out once you're in Calgary for great weekly social activities, or even to get involved as a volunteer if you're looking for that. And last but not least, my favorite office, sorry, I'm a little bit biased, but ISS for short, was my go-to place as an international student. It did take me a little while to get used to reaching out when I needed help after I started university. However, ISS does a fantastic job making sure you feel supported in anything non-academic through events, programs, orientation, as well as immigration. I highly encourage everybody to sign up for their email newsletter that they send out quite often. Once you start university next September, or now, if you want to get to know what's going on and you don't miss any important updates that are relevant to international students specifically. So you're in. So what's now? I'll share this with you in 6 steps. So first of all, you have to accept your offer. And I hope that the majority of you have done this very easy step. Step number 2 will be kind of tied to your first step, but it's to secure the spot in the program by paying the $500 deposit. This $500 deposit is part of your tuition and fees for the fall term. This is not an extra fee that you're paying. If you have received an offer for your second choice now and you accept and pay the deposit and later on you get an offer for your first choice, the deposit will automatically be applied and you do not need to repay it. The third step is to make sure that you create your UCalgary email address. Michaela is probably sharing right now a link to creating on how to create your UCalgary email address. So make sure to save that link. Next, you should connect with our international student immigration advisors from your new UCalgary email address so that you can start familiarizing yourself with the study permit application. This takes time, and with COVID, things are a little delayed. My biggest recommendation is to make sure to connect as soon as you can so that you can apply for your study permit and receive it all in time before September. Michaela has just shared a link to the ISS study permit information online. Step number 5 is to make sure that you attend the U at UCalgary event we're hosting on April 17th next year, where you can participate in a live webinar hosted by your faculty, connect with current students in your program, chat with advisors, and learn more about support and services offered at the University of Calgary. Stay tuned for further information and an invitation to register in the new year. Make sure to keep an eye on your emails, including the spam or junk inbox. By attending this event, you will have access to early course registration, and your early course registration date is dependent on who registers for the event first. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of like an add-in perk of attending this awesome event we're planning for you. And step number 6 would be course registration. So this will begin May 5th, 2021. So make sure you will see an enrollment date on your student center and make sure that you have that handy. So here is a timeline on course registration to give you an idea of when you will be able to start looking at classes and building your fall and winter schedules as early as around March, which is crazy. Course registration is extremely important, and you will start receiving emails about this soon if you haven't already. Remember, you can get early course registration, which helps a ton, believe me, by registering for the U at UCalgary event. You have to have accepted your offer and paid the deposit as well, the $500 I talked about. I know it is kind of weird to register in your university courses. Well, maybe some of you are still in high school, but I strongly again encourage you to make sure to set at least 2 alarms for the specific date and time that you're allowed to register, and make sure to plan in advance your schedule, as you do have access to do it before you can enroll. This may all seem or sound kind of complicated, but remember, we're here to support you. Since we understand it may be different from universities in your home countries, once again, we have a ton of resources available for you. Besides important communication being sent out to your email, you will also have the possibility of using our registration assistance, where you can chat with an advisor as well as find out more information in our first year degree guide and the very handy tool called Schedule Builder. All these resources will be available to you to make sure your course registration is as smooth as possible. I will shift gears a little bit to chat further about your offer, tuition, and scholarships that you can still apply to. Majority of the offers are conditional. However, the letter of acceptance that you have received can be used for your study permit application. So if you want to start applying right away, you can absolutely do that. They are conditional on maintaining your average, completing the required courses for admissions if you're currently doing those, submitting outstanding documents as outlined on your to-do or the status of your application, and of course, graduating from high school. Your final official transcript from high school and any other required documents must be received by August 1st, 2021. This must be mailed by your school, or you have to request it to the IB organization or college board or exam boards that you are taking, depending on where you're from and what you're completing, of course. These have to be sent directly to us in order for us to consider them official. So when you click on the status of your application in your UCalgary Student Center, you will be able to see exactly what documents are needed to finalize your offer, and you will also be able to see the deadlines as well. Now, here's an updated tuition and fees chart. These are all in Canadian dollars. We have adjusted our price specifically for residents, as double rooms are not something we can offer at this time due to the current COVID restrictions. Everything else is the same as you would have seen in our view book or in any presentations or events that you may have attended in the past. But as you can see, we're including your tuition, fees, all of your textbooks, living expenses, your residence, as well as all of your meals. So outside of the amount that you see on the screen, there shouldn't be anything else that you will be spending money on. Now, remember that each year we give away more than $17 million in scholarships, bursaries, and awards. And there are still things that you can apply to, which is exciting news. Of course, we still have our automatic awards for fall 2021, and these don't require an application, so you may get a surprise email. And again, this is another important reminder to check your emails constantly, including the junk or spam inbox as well. But for high school awards, you can still submit an application through your student center. So the deadline for the high school awards is March 1st, 2021. I would recommend you take some time during the upcoming school break to complete this application. There are 148 different awards you will be applying to by just completing one application. The value you could potentially get will vary between $800 up to $10,000. So don't miss out on this opportunity. High school award decisions should be out by mid to end April. If you submitted an application for a prestige award, so these were the awards that were due December 1st, decisions should be out by mid to end of March, more or less. Now, for the upcoming year, here is an updated timeline for you to have. Remember, it is super important that you accept your offer and pay the deposit by the deadline provided on your letter. Apply for residence before May 1st for that guaranteed residence that we offer, and make sure you register for your courses in early May. Again, you will start receiving several emails in the future, so please make sure to check all the inboxes that I've mentioned already, as sometimes they do end up there, and they contain important information to prepare you for your university life and your university student experience. So I'm now towards the end of my presentation here, and I would like to encourage everybody to check out the link on the screen if you're interested in completing one of our virtual campus tours. We have tons of videos in our YouTube channel where you can see previous campus tours, but you can participate in live campus tours that we're doing in the upcoming weeks and months. So before I go into the question period, we do have a special guest with us today. I don't see they have signed in yet to the session, so I'm just going to check my phone to see if they're having any difficulties, but we'll be back in here in just a second. So just bear with us for a couple of minutes here. Sorry, we're just sorting some technical difficulties here, and Gundo will be with us in just a second, so bear with us here. Okay, so I see Gundo has joined us. So again, she's a current international student, and she would love to share a little bit more about her own experience at the University of Calgary here. So I'll pass on the floor to Gundo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Gundo. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. First of all, congratulations to all of you for your acceptance. It's definitely a very good experience, and I'm very excited to see the new cohort. So my name is Gundo. I am in my 4th and final year of a combined degree in international relations and anthropology. I started here at UCalgary in 2017, and it's been a wonderful experience. I've met a lot of great friends here. I've joined a lot of great clubs, and it's just been a fun time, like both inside and outside of class. And I can guarantee you that you won't regret your choice here, because it's amazing, basically. Before COVID, I used to attend my classes, and I used to study at the International Student Space a lot. They have a wonderful waiting area now, and most students use it to study. In fact, that's where I met Mayda, and she's been a great help with my degree. And for classes, the lecture halls are pretty big, but it gets pretty cozy once you make your friends in there. And yeah, it's an amazing time. And now with COVID, everything's online, and I found that professors are more lenient and more willing to help out where they can and extend deadlines. I know I definitely used to be afraid to reach out to professors or TAs or to attend office hours, but I've come to realize that professors and TAs are just humans like us. They've gone through first year of university before, and they get it. They understand the struggle, and they're just there to help you make the best out of your time. So I'd definitely say don't be afraid to send an email or to join an office hour and just discuss with your professor how you're doing in the class, what your interests are for the future, and such things. They're always there and willing to help out where they can. And I also live in residence. Currently, I'm actually in my residence room. I live in a 4-bedroom apartment, and I have 3 different roommates, one from the Philippines, one from Norway, and one from Egypt. And residence on its own is a whole new experience as well. I would definitely encourage you to apply for residence. I think applications for the 2021-2022 school year opens on December 10th, so in just a few days. And yeah, definitely make sure you request for a roommate, because you definitely get to learn a lot from them. And it's nice to have someone else to talk to sometimes when you come back from class. It's nice to have someone with who you can do different things and with who you can just exchange your ideas. And the meal plan is also worth it for first year, so that you don't have to cook your meals. I know first year classes are quite busy and there's a lot to do, so you might not have time to make meals, but getting a meal plan is worth it. And yeah, in residence, there are community advisors who are here, who are willing to help you out, who throw out some really awesome residence events that give you the chance to meet new people, try new activities, and learn new things. In terms of advice and tips, I would say just go for it. Like, if there's something you want to do but you're not quite sure, or like you're nervous about it, I would say put yourself out there. The worst that could happen is you realize that you don't like that activity, and it gives you space and room to try something else. So don't hold yourself back, just do it. And I wish you all the best with your degrees.
Thank you so much, Gundo. So lovely chatting with you and hearing to getting the opportunity to share a little bit of your own experience with our future students here. So I really appreciate your time. We are going to move along to the Q&A session here. I know the chat has been very, very active because I had a chance to kind of like look at it while Gundo was chatting. So yes, if there are any questions, please feel free to reach out again over in the chat box, or in the future via email or WhatsApp or WeChat, whichever it's most convenient for you. I believe we are now going to share the last link of the night here with everybody, where you can find all of our contact information for you to reach out and ask any further questions that you may have. So I'm going to take some moment here. I think you're all trying to get a group over on Discord or WhatsApp, which is very amazing. And I like that initiative. So I'm just going to look and see if there are any questions, as there's a lot of chat going on, which is great, just to see if we're missing any questions that we can answer in the next little while. So just give me 2 seconds to read over the chat box here. Okay, so I see a question about, due to COVID, do we expect any change in joining dates for fall 2021? So the university hasn't made a decision yet about what fall 2021 will look like. But again, really important to keep an eye on your emails, as any communications about fall 2021 will be communicated over email to all of our new students for the fall, as well as all of our current students. So keep an eye on that. That's an excellent question. Thanks for asking. What do I do if my visa gets rejected? Again, extremely important. Always think positive, but extremely important to reach out to our international student immigration advisors, both to get to know how to apply for your study permit, but also if you hear from with that decision, they will be the best people to connect to, and they can go over next steps if your study permit gets denied. So highly, highly encouraged to keep an open communications with them. And if you have enough time, you can potentially reapply again to address anything that may be the reason for why you got your study permit refused. But again, ISS will be there to support you if that is the case. Okay, lots of questions. So do I need to have a custodian even if it will be on residence? Michaela, do you happen to know the answer to that question? Feel free to unmute yourself if you can.
I don't actually know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I think it's if someone's under the age of 18, they might need to do that. But I think that would be more of a question for International Student Services.
Yeah, so feel free to reach out to ISS directly, or even residents directly. They'll be able to support you with the custodianship. Can I get a mini fridge in residence? I'm type 1 diabetic. Any accommodations the university will be able to help me with? I'm sure that probably is fine. If Gundo's still here,
yeah,
maybe
can I just say something about that?
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely, like, all residence rooms, even like the first year dormitories, come in with a fridge. Like, first year rooms, they're closed right now, but they do have a mini fridge in them. And then the apartment style rooms have like a normal kind of fridge in them. And any kind of accommodation that you need, just sending residents an email and they'll be able to like sort that out for you.
Awesome. Thank you. What would be the average salary per hour for internships jobs in Calgary? Very specific question. I think it varies quite a bit. Again, as I mentioned, the minimum wage in Alberta is $15 an hour. For an internship, usually it will be higher than minimum wage. I'm not really comfortable sharing a range of how much you will get paid per hour. But I can speak about my own experience when I did a summer student job at the university. I was getting paid $18.50 an hour. So and this was a long time ago, so I would expect it may be higher than that for internship or co-ops. Are we expected to quarantine off campus when we arrive? So currently, the way restrictions are in terms of COVID-19, if you were to arrive to Canada, you do have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Again, what's going to happen from now until the time that you actually will come to Canada may change. So I would say just wait a little bit to see how things or trends move around in the new year. And ISS will be able to provide further information if you need to quarantine still in September and what you can do and go about it. Is there a contact for orientation for filling out the bursary application as an international student? Since most questions are based on Canadian terms, and it's really confusing. So if you have questions about the bursaries or the high school awards, I highly encourage you to reach out to the awards team directly. Their email address is ucawards@ucalgary.ca. They will probably be happy to support you with the bursary piece of the application process. How long does it take for the application process of a student visa? So I don't know. It varies country to country. Again, with COVID-19, things may be a little bit delay. It will be best, and I can't guarantee you that ISS will probably be the best team to be able to answer that specific question. Again, to answer anything related to immigration, you have to have a certification to legally be able to do that. I don't have it. Gundu doesn't have it. Michaela doesn't have it. So again, ISS immigration advisors will be your best bet to gather any information regarding study permit applications, timelines, and all that. I know that the Government of Canada does have a processing time online that you can check out too, but I believe they have a big note as soon as you open it saying that due to COVID, they can't reflect the actual processing time on stuff. So do we need to apply for work permit apart from our study permit if we plan to apply for a job on campus and such, or do they come together? So usually your study permit is your work permit. International Student Services has a great website. They have a specific area that says working as an international student, and they go over all the different rules that international students will have to follow when they join Canada and the University of Calgary itself. Living in residence with roommates is still available despite of COVID. So I believe, yes. Basically, they're one of the options that we're offering for the new year. You'll have your own room. You'll have a roommate in a separate room, and then you'll share the one bathroom between you and the other person. I have applied for high school prestige awards. Are high school awards different? Yes, they are different. And you do have to apply separately. So the application, it's all online. Again, similarly to where the prestige awards application was, there should be another one that says high school awards, and then you have to complete that one. Remember, you have until March 1st to submit that. What is the minimum wage in Calgary? $15 an hour. What are co-ops? So co-op and internships are roughly the same thing. Depending on the faculty that you're in, you will have the opportunity to do either a co-op or an internship. They're paid work experiences. Usually students will complete them after their second or third year. Co-ops, the main difference between the two is that internships, usually after your third year, you go work for a company between 12 to 16 months, and then you come back and complete your last year of university. Co-ops, there's a little bit of a back and forth. So it's you do work placements that are shorter, and you get to potentially work for 3 different companies throughout your co-op opportunity. Can you share insights and record of job offers and placements for undergrad engineering? That's a very specific question that I am no expert on. I know that lots of my friends I can speak about were in engineering, and the majority of students in engineering do decide to do an internship after their third year. So people that I know very close by, even with COVID right now, they're still doing their internship experiences, not only in Canada, but abroad. I do have somebody who is doing an internship in Amazon in Spain, which is pretty fantastic, but I really don't have a record of job offers and placements that I can, or a number that I can share with you at this time.
Sorry, Mayda, can I just answer one of the questions about the honors?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like I've not heard of a program where you can go from an honors to a PhD, but an honors helps you prepare for a master's in that you write a thesis or like a major research paper. And the difference between an honors and a normal degree is that in an honors program, you're required to have a higher GPA to graduate. And you're required to write either a thesis or a major research paper with a supervisor in like the department of the program that you're in. And honors degrees can be done in 4 years, they can be done in 5 years. They're just more specialized in that sense, and they help you jump straight into your master's. And definitely you can do a major and a minor. You would just have to apply for your minor after completing like at least 1 semester here.
Right. I see a question about specifics to the conditions on your offer. So if you can email admissions@ucalgary.ca, they will be able to provide further support about exactly what they're looking for in terms of the documents that are pending. What is an outstanding document, and are we supposed to send both documents required through courier? So usually, again, outstanding documents, it would be best. It's really hard for me to go over that question. It really depends where you're completing high school and all that. So again, highly encourage you to reach out to admissions@ucalgary.ca, provide your student ID number, and then they'll be able to provide further information to you. Do we need to create our account in IT? Yes. So Michaela, if you don't mind just resharing the link on how to create your email account. I believe we're going to put it as a sticky message, so it will be at the top. Make sure you click on that link so that you follow the instructions, and then you receive your UCalgary email account, which is pretty exciting. That question has been answered about honors. Does the apartments come with their own kitchen for students who don't take the food plan? So some residence options or buildings will offer you a full kitchen. It depends on which one you decide to live in. Majority of first-year students do sign up for the meal plan. And again, I didn't live in residence, so don't do what I did. But my biggest recommendation is consider doing that, and also consider signing up for the meal plan. In terms of money, I think it's around the same of you actually spending the time going groceries, cooking, and all that. So just consider that and take that into account as well.
Sorry, can I add more?
Yeah, you can add more. You're a residence expert.
Oh, sorry about that. So for most apartments, they do have their own kitchen. They come with like a 4-burner stove. In second-year apartments, you don't have a kitchen. You have a community kitchen, but like now with COVID, that community kitchen is closed. I think most right, or first and second year students do have a meal plan. But in case you don't want the 7-day meal plan, there's the 5-day meal plan. There's the 250 swipes, which allows you to enter the dining center to 150 times per semester. And there's also the 120 swipes, which is the same concept as 250. And it, like Mayda said, it's really good. It saves time if you don't know how to cook, if you don't have the time to go grocery shopping or cooking and that kind of thing. And in terms of having a roommate in apartments, like Mayda said, it's like everyone gets their own room. You only really share the bathroom and the kitchen. So up in your apartment right now, it's 4 people in an apartment because it's 2 people per bathroom. So most of residents right now is only 2 people per bathroom. And the way residence is right now with COVID, you do have a roommate, but once like things go back to normal, for sure, dormitories, you can decide if you want to have a roommate or not. Not having a roommate is a bit more expensive than having a roommate, but like that's about it.
Thank you, Gundo. I think Michaela would like to answer a few questions here.
Yes, I can definitely answer a few questions. So there's a question, is it possible to do a major and a minor? If so, how can I go about the process of applying for an additional minor? So it's definitely possible to declare a minor. You wouldn't do this until you start classes though. So basically you're going to declare that with the help of your faculty, and you would kind of officially be entered into the minor starting in your second year. What else? So can we have a part-time job in our first year, or do we need to wait till our second year? Another good question. So technically with the study permit, you are eligible to work at any time once you've entered Canada, just up to 20 hours per week. However, one thing I would just make note is that it's maybe worth just getting used to what the course load is like in your first year, maybe in your first term, and then kind of gauging how much work it is from there. But yeah, it's definitely an option if that was something you were interested in. Let me see what else there is, Mayda. I might hand it back over to you.
Yeah, how's the honor programs different from the normal degree?
Do you want to answer that?
Sure. So basically, honors have more research as part of the degree itself. Not saying that a normal degree wouldn't have research opportunities, but as part of the honors degree, it is mandatory for you to do a research thesis before you can actually receive your degree. Are you required to have a roommate in your first year? I believe Gundo answered that question, which is fantastic. Do engineering students get AP credits for all the AP exams that we write? So if you have a score of 4 or higher, we can potentially provide University of Calgary credits towards AP courses. We do need to receive the AP kind of like transcript from College Board directly. Michaela, do you know if you can change to an honors program if you were accepted into a major?
Yeah, you can. So it's kind of the same process as declaring a minor. Like it's not going to take effect until you enter into your second year. So anytime you make a change of program, it's always dealt with at the faculty level. So yeah, just making note of that. I don't know if Mayda, is it worth talking about like changing your first and second choice, or do we not really want to go over that considering there's offers out?
If you want to, you can.
Okay. I was just going to say that if you were really interested in changing your program, so say you've applied into something like psychology and you were interested in applying into a different program that was an honors program, you are technically able to change your application up until March 1st. However, it is just something you'll want to consider carefully. Now that you have an offer, you've already reserved your seat, so you might want just to consider the option of starting in that program and maybe trying to change your program later on.
I see a question about, is the meeting recorded? Yes, it is, and you will receive a link after we're all done here. Since the course registration date comes before my high school graduation date, can I apply the AP credits to my course registration before I get the result from the AP exam? Okay, I need to reread that. Just give me a second. So we usually wouldn't give you credit until we receive the College Board document with all of your AP results. So once we receive that, then we provide the credit towards a UCalgary course.
Can I just add to that?
Yes, go for it.
So I mean, something to make note of is you can always register in courses and then change your schedule later on. So just say that, yeah, if you register in, say, Math 201, I don't know if that's actually the name of the course, you can register in it, and then if you are later able to get credit for that, you can just drop that course and maybe register for a different one instead, or say that you didn't get a high enough AP score, you would be at least registered in the course now and you'd be able to save your spot.
I see a question about how does the study permit work? Again, we're no experts in immigration, so you really need to reach out to our international student immigration advisors. I guarantee you they'll be super excited to hear from you. They will be more than happy to provide you with the answers that you need. So again, if you go to ucalgary.ca/ISS, you will be able to access all the immigration information that they have in their page, as well as their contact information, and they will get back to you on exactly how the study permit works. How can I change to taking AP tests to not do them anymore? Michaela, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can just send an email to admissions advising them of this. But we need to be very careful, depending if your AP courses were taken into consideration for admissions, then we'll just have to look at your file specifically and go from there, I believe.
That's correct.
Okay, I see a question about how many students achieve the high school prestige award. So I don't have access to the specific numbers, but what I can tell you is that for fall 2020, 40% of the entering class receive at least one scholarship award or bursary. So based on that, that's all the information that I have available for you at this time. I don't have the specific numbers on recipients. So if I'm not taking AP tests, is there a chance for you to reject my admissions?
I can actually talk to that.
Good, thank you.
So AP test, like the test is actually optional, so it's not going to affect your admission. However, if you are not writing it, it's just a good idea to let the admissions team know so they can waive that item from your to-do list. They'll just basically know that we're not going to be expecting any documents. And then just make note that if you don't write AP tests, you're not eligible for any advanced credit. We would basically just be using your mark in the score in lieu of the test.
Thank you, Michaela. So we have 5 more minutes here to spend with you. If you have any other questions, we'll probably be able to go through 5, I would say, 1 per minute. So I see one here. If you have one scholarship, then do the chances of getting another scholarship decrease? It depends on which scholarship you receive. For example, if you're the recipient of our 15,000 Renewable International Student Scholarship, that will probably be, I would say, the only one that you could get. But again, you can potentially stack up on maybe a 800 award here and then 1,000 award there. Again, it all depends on each award, and the awards team are the ones that will let you know about what you are eligible for. You do have to accept those awards offers. So again, make sure you keep an eye on your student center as well as emails because there's deadlines. So just keep that in mind as well. I tried creating my IT account, but it appears to me that I'm not eligible for this. What should I do? So if you have a UCID, you should be eligible to set up your UCalgary email and your IT account. It may be a good idea to reach out to IT if it keeps giving you the same error. They do have a live chat during regular Calgary business hours, so 8:30 to 4:30 Calgary time.
I have something else to add to that I just learned today. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, so you do have to actually accept your offer and pay your deposit before you can create the account. So that's most likely the issue that you're experiencing. However, if you've done both of those things and you're still experiencing issues, then just as Mayda said, I would contact IT. Sorry, Mayda, go ahead.
No, thank you. It's all good. Again, the question about range for the high school scholarship, if you're referring to the range of money that you could potentially get, it will vary between $800 up to $10,000. So the scholarship that is worth $15,000, the deadline was December 1st. There's no link I can share. It is all accessible through your student center under the My Financials tab. You should be able to see the apply for undergrad awards, and the awards that you should be able to see there if you're a high school student is the high school awards that are still open until March 1st, 2021. The deposit is to secure your spot in the program, and that $500 deposit, it's part of your tuition and fees for the fall semester. So it's not an extra fee that you're paying, it's part of the tuition that you will have to pay for fall. I don't believe the link specifically to register for the IT account. It's in our website in terms of the recruitment or admission side of things. But if you Google create UCalgary email, you will be able to see the step-by-step instruction on what you need to do. So it was wonderful being with all of you today. I really appreciate everybody's participation. Super active on the chat. Again, if there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. If I'm assuming some of you may go on holiday soon, so have happy holidays and all the best for the new year. And we do look forward to seeing you in 2021. Please take care, stay healthy, and reach out if you need anything. Bye-bye now.